do a reaction video here. I'm told this is a video about a turkey?
Peacock.
Peacock. Oh, the peacock.
Yeah.
Right on.
Peafowl.
Peafowl, peahen. That's the old intro. I think Dakota made that intro.
Not what I would expect to be playing.
What's he driving? Dodge. My Dodge, his Dodge.
Where are we going?
We're going over to the old shop.
Well, that's
I think
Gabby.
John has discovered some sort of raptor.
Raptor.
Found a dinosaur?
Yeah, some sort of small dinosaur that he wants us to capture. This is what I'm talking about, right?
This is why he
20
wears
minutes
pants.
ago, we were just doing regular shit, and now John wants to chase down and capture a raptor. This is why you don't ever wear shorts at SOE.
See?
Anybody who wears shorts at SOE is just looking to get Sebastian legs.
Yeah.
Sebastian always had bug bites all over him because he'd walk around. Well, what it really was is he's supposed to go out and feed the animals.
Yeah.
And I've always mowed out there. He goes out beyond where the mowing is, sneaks down the hill, walks down the road and goes to the gas station and buys junk over there.
Yeah.
Or went through the woods over here.
So I was always saying, you know, I do the animals in 11 minutes. That's what it was back then. But he'll be out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you look out there and you won't see him. And I'm like, motherfucker's up to something. So they just went over. Like, we knew something was going on, so they just waited at the gas station. And here he comes. And he had, they caught him coming back on the property, and he saw him and kind of hit his shit. So we call him Sebastian Nest, because he would just leave stuff places, and it's like a little nest, like a little crow's nest or a rat nest. And he always had Sebastian legs, because he was always walking through the grass, because he's sneaking off someplace in a big roundabout way, because he can't just go, because you get caught.
There,
yeah.
Scabies. Smallpox. We expose Sebastian to smallpox every night when he goes to bed, so we can build up an immunity for when the apocalypse happens.
How long ago was this?
You must have just moved into this building.
The house next door was still there.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's all gone.
Yeah, we still had animals at the old shop.
I need to go over there and get all that ivy and shit off of there. It's all overgrown. I need to mow it down. Okay, so that's...
You had a fresh haircut.
Yeah, I need one now. So that's Jeff's Dodge, and that's my Dodge parked next to it. Same trucks, 5.9s. That piece of steel right there, Cody was building some welding tables. I still have all the material to build them.
But not a table.
But I still don't have a table. We were going to do it as 2 4x4s, and then they'd clamp together, because I saw Mick Strider do that. And we bought all the bottles and the welder and several welders. That thing's still sitting there. Like, it'll kill you. If it falls over, it would definitely cut your feet off.
Hundreds of pounds.
It's like 1/2 inch thick. It's so fucking heavy. And there's 2 of them. And then I've got all the tubing and the square tubing and everything.
Rusted.
Always over here. That's a good idea.
So if you see up there on that hill right there, that's just a patio we built, basically like a patio cover. But we suspended rabbits, so all the rabbits were there, and you can see the downspouts. We were even back here. All of that to the right is the barnyard. That's where when Lance was like, hey, we should, food is medicine. We should grow some food. I'm like, okay, you're elected.
Yeah.
So we went to the market that day, the flea market, like 20 minutes from here, just to get a couple chickens, because he wanted to do some eggs. So I'm like, good idea. We came back with a whole fucking barnyard.
Fucking farm.
We came back with a mama goat with 2 babies and 2 Pyrenees dogs, which are the 2 that are here. Some rabbits. I think we bought ducks and 2 geese. Those geese that are out there right now came from that. Like, boom, instant farm.
What are you missing?
And then we're like, we don't have any water for these ducks, so we made a pond right there, and it's overgrown. It's fucking 8 feet tall right now.
I was wondering, is there any you guys ever have break-ins over there?
No, we have an alarm system on there.
I was thinking, like, if somebody just, like, decided to go in there, it might scare them. Because it looks like, you know, just like a rundown house, but so many different, like, items that could be in there. You know, like a big plate of steel with some chest rigs and, like, some knives and swords or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's all cobwebs. Like every time I go in there, you have to Indiana Jones through there. I have a big pole that I
take a broom.
do like this, you know, before we walk through there, because I hate spider webs.
Yeah.
But we could go back in there. I mean, if we had to, we could go in there Monday and start working. It would suck, especially after being in a new place, you know. Every time we go in there, I'm like, man, I can't imagine how we worked so long in this place. But it's what we knew. We were calibrated to, you know. It's always over here. And we had these people called the Hobbits. Stacy Black was the handyman guy, and I'm like, hey, let's enclose this right here, which really cut the temperature down because that's the south-facing wall, so it got beat on all day long, and it would overtax the AC units. Like we had these we cut through the concrete wall and put this giant AC unit in that bay. And then we had them in each of the windows on that wall. But when we put this patio up, and it kind of kept eyes off of shit, you know, we were keeping tons of our like shipping boxes, our U.S. mail boxes out there, and all kinds of stuff. And then when we put that sheeting up there, that mesh up there, it really did cut the temperature hugely. It dropped the temperature in there like 10, 15 degrees, and then the AC units weren't so overtaxed.
So she was just sitting there, and I actually played Peacocks.
And this was originally on the right hand. Is that James Hicks? Who is that?
I just played
I've never
Peacocks
seen
down.
the guy with the shaved head.
She peeked up, and she started walking, and she walked.
I don't know who that is.
He's an older guy. I've never seen him before, other than this one video.
So this isn't the video where because when we actually catch this thing,
This is it.
when we have like 10 people with us, Tyler and everybody.
No. So you catch him, put him in the truck, and then drive him back.
Okay. So those roll-up doors. This used to be a bread warehouse at one time, and then over the years, those were converted into apartments. There was 3 apartments down this way, and then when we got it, James was had his gear shop in the bottom building, and then this upper building here was like their offices on the one end. So we rented just that part with the roll-up door, and then we ended up needing more space. And James says we kicked them out. We didn't. It was mutual. They were leaving, and as they left, we took over more of it. Cut a hole in there. It was like an apartment that looked like it was from the 70s in there. And we kind of gutted all that out and just had handyman guys work on it, rip the carpet up and shit in there. And then just one by one just kind of took over those areas. But it's still set up. It could be apartments, you know, there's a bathtub in there, shower in there, and you know, bathrooms and shit.
Was it ever discussed that kitchen doesn't have like a stove or an oven?
Had a stove. We took it out and threw it away.
Oh, okay.
It had a really, really old stove. When we took that area and started gutting it out and cleaning it out to use it as office, we just never put a stove back in there. There was a refrigerator right there where the stove was for a long time. We bought this big Samsung refrigerator, and it wouldn't fit in the fucking doors when we bought it. And I'm so dumb, man. Looking at it now, I should have been like, hey, because we were pulling the doors off, and then they put the doors, and then the refrigerator never like worked right. I should have just been like, hey, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, buy a bigger door and fucking frame it. That would have been the easier way to do it. Take the wall apart. Like, don't ever pull the doors off of a fucking refrigerator especially if you don't have the tools that fucking remove them. Like if you've got a handyman dude, that's not the dude to fuck with your electronics. Like he can totally cut the wall out and put the wall back together or put a bigger door in. That's the easiest solution.
She'll sit like in the shade or off the wheel.
She was right under the bumper of that green truck. And when I made the sound, she walked like that way. She never did clear it though. Last night she's behind. So is this a video where we come back and we've got the bird, we're chasing it, and it gets up in the trees and shit?
Yeah, so you're chasing it here, and then like a few weeks, it cuts to a few weeks later.
Oh, okay. So Gabby built the video over a couple weeks.
Right there.
Is it a female? Are you sure it's a female?
Yeah, because the males have all the pretty plumage.
Right.
Jeff really, like, he always says he wants peacocks. But I'm like, bro, you don't want peacocks. It's neat when you're a little kid at the zoo because all you see is the peacocks. They're at eye level and they're just so big and grand looking. but they're gonna get on your cars.
And they make a lot of noise.
If you put that peacock, that like, we're about to catch this peacock, I guess, here. But once it got here, we take it and put it in here up in the top where the turkeys are, thinking they'll stay there.
Yeah.
It didn't. It was there for about an hour. It's out peacocking around. Every morning I would come in, and it's on one of my Porsches. It's on my Range Rover. It's sitting and it's scratching the shit out of fucking everything.
Females have none. Look over here,
Man, I don't know who that bald guy is.
that gold colored car. She'll be right behind there. I don't know if she's friendly or not. When I mentioned it on video.
So apparently this thing for 6 months just would migrate up and down the highway. And it was staying around the fire department for a long time. Like workers across here, you'd see them leave food out and shit for the peacock. And I just thought I wanted it, and I don't now.
That's, yeah, everybody, if they see a wild peacock, why wouldn't you want to go get it, you know?
From the local, they get calls on it all.
Well, I thought we were saving it, like it's going to get hit by the road.
The owner, it just goes up and down. It'll just migrate up and down the highway. I never saw it clear out of there, Jeff, to your right. She should be right there by the fire truck. Yep, there she is under the truck. We could probably grab her under the truck. Here she comes towards you. Don't run towards her. Just kind of walk spread out. She knows. Like, fuck this. I fucking already told you not to do that. Way to fuck it up, Sebastian.
Of course it's Sebastian.
Stand still. Hey, she's right here, guys. Right here in the grass. Moving towards the cars, running.
Yeah, she is running. Like a road runner.
She's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think they end up chasing her around the fire department shit.
Don't run her towards the street.
She actually will fly up in the tree here. And even when we were trying to catch her on this property here, we were chasing her and she was up in the trees and shit. It took us a few days to catch her here.
On the roof.
Is that Paulo, the bald guy?
I don't know who it is.
Remember the Mexican dude worked for us? Said he had to get surgery on his finger and then he just never came back to work. The guy that caught the peacock from here. Remember he caught it? I'm like, how's the peacock? He's like, oh, we ate it.
No, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. He was cutting. He was doing Jeremy's job. He was really good. He was here for a few months and then just disappeared. Watching the electrocutors. No, he's up. Yeah, he's up on the fire truck. Who is that? That's got to be him. Or it's not Curtis, right? I think I just jumped right up there on the fire truck to the rim.
We can have a net gun here in like 2 days, like a legit.
Who is that?
I don't
with
know.
the red shoes on. It's got to be the Paulo guy.
I don't know who that is.
Or maybe he's just a customer that was. There's Anthony.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's awfully light-skinned for the name of Paulo.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing any.
Anthony came to work for it. He's like, I'm here to work for you. I'm living in a tent.
Yeah.
What? He's like, I'm just going to camp in a tent. And he did for a while. You know, he had split up with the ex or whatever.
Bullshit.
He was on top of the fire truck.
Okay, there's
Dakota.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
He looks slim.
I remember him being bigger back then. But
I think he's bigger. I think he's bigger now than right here.
He is, but I remember him back then, like always talking about how he was trying to get into shape and that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look that bad, and it wouldn't have taken much from there.
Sebastian looks like he's got some little man titties.
And from here, hang out with that tire of it.
Think you can hang out with the farm?
With our farm? Yeah,
Yeah, with the chickens.
hold up. I'm gonna go get another.
What they're thinking, across the street is a tool and die place. It's Palmer. It's one of the bigger businesses. They do all the metal work for all these factories around here. I wonder what those dudes thought was going on over here. Because we weren't here on this property now. So anytime we showed up, there's always like some silly shit going to happen. Yeah.
You can't buy just a male peacock. They make you buy a male peacock with several other pins. So she'll just join the flock.
This is Jeff talking about how he wants peacocks.
Probably.
Here's what we do. First of all, what were you told? I said reconnaissance mission.
Oh no, I was told
Capture kill.
I don't know who that guy is.
I have no idea.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, everybody else in this video I've at least seen before. That guy, never. Like, it was just, he was there for this video only.
It could have been that he was a new hire and like didn't come back the next day because there was a lot of those.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is.
He's like,
actual...
fuck this farm shit.
Guys watch the videos and they're like, oh, that looks really cool. And then they're like, oh, there's actual work here.
capture or kill.
We leave baby head here.
All right, come on. Back to the truck.
But he's like,
We leave baby head here. We just bring him a radio when he sees it later tonight.
I don't know if I'm fucking around or if that was really my plan.
Sebastian's just like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, he'd pull the back off the radio and pull all the fucking components out of it.
Come back out. Come back out.
Rescue Squad 9.
Back out, we just leave him.
Good idea. It's like a little.
I'll do it.
A little. All he has is a little AA flashlight.
I need one that you gotta wind up, fucking charge.
90 degrees out, he doesn't even need a tent.
No, it doesn't need a
I wonder how he's doing. He showed up at one of our parties or something.
He had a heart attack or something, I don't know, a year ago.
Anthony did?
Yeah.
No. I'll give you a poncho liner. You can lay on that.
Okay. Right here.
Did you remember to bring your binoculars?
No.
Well, then what use were you?
Well, I didn't know I had binoculars in the first place.
All right, well, good try. You know, everybody knows that you can only capture a peacock when it's raining.
He's like, what?
I'm spitting all it. What did I just? I said you can only capture a peacock when it's raining.
Yeah,
it's
but
raining.
you explaining yourself, and it's.
Am I
it's
going
sound
somewhere with
logic.
this?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wonder if I just made this
Think
up.
about it.
Yes.
The only time Wile E. Coyote ever caught the Roadrunner, it was raining. The only time Elmer Fudd ever got the rabbit, it was raining. It has to be raining.
Well, it looks like it's pretty covered, so. So, I have to stand here.
He has a nice haircut, too.
He had on those Katanica shorts that he had. I don't know how he did. He had super glue all over
Yeah.
him. Looked like fucking cum. Looked like it literally looked like semen all over the fucking shorts every time he put them on because it was just that super glue.
I knew I should have pulled it out, but we should have started filming. We got some little.
Okay, I don't know if it shows it. I was just driving past and saw the peacock, and it was right there. I had Sebastian and Butters with me, so I just pulled in, and as I walked up towards, it flew in the one open door, and all the other doors were closed on the patio. So it got in there, and I was able to catch it and grab a hold of it, and then I took it. Apparently, right here. I
think it's hilarious that it cuts to you holding it like it's your pet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it shows it here, but I caught it, and they're like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I go, "Cover your face," and I opened the door and just threw it in there. Well, it shit all over the inside of the fucking truck.
Yeah, so Sebastian's now holding the camera, and he's sitting in the back seat when you do that.
Oh, so we had a camera with us, I guess, when because it was just by chance. I don't remember where we were coming from. Maybe I was picking him up from. No, he wasn't going to school there. I don't know.
Claws got me a little bit. No big deal.
Yeah, right
We're
in the.
just going to throw her in the truck and take her to the shop. So she was over here when we pulled up. I asked her what the peacock, and the peacock was actually right here. And I'm like, man, she's gonna go up on the dock. And she did.
Man, that place looks all groomed. It's like a fucking jungle right now. Every time I drive past, I'm like, man, we got to go clean that.
That dude that was here the other day, he's like, I bet you guys got raccoons living up in there. There's so much greenery around there.
What guy?
The one that came to buy the sling.
Oh, he was a sheriff.
And we now have the Peacocks. So, get in the truck.
Are you gonna drive with that thing in your arms? Oh, come on!
Keep rolling.
I am.
Get in, close the door. She's gonna try to fly. Don't lose her shit.
Oh, God.
I should have had him hold it. You see, it's trying to fly out the window.
Yeah.
There's that tool bag sitting right there in the seat.
It's the same one he's still carrying.
That's the very first tool bag I ever made.
That's cool.
It's still got like a ITS patch on it. That's probably before we even made a patch. I think we drive right up to the barnyard.
This is just funny. Especially since we had a crew of 6 guys that couldn't catch it.
Well, we got lucky.
It's stressed around. See, it's
We didn't just do something that 6 guys couldn't do. We just had different circumstances. Yeah. Okay, this is how we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go in this hatch right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
It can't. Must be one of those small cameras.
Jeffrey.
There's still shit sitting in the front doors. Looks just like that right now.
Jeffrey. Guess what I have in the truck?
Oh, bullshit. Butters caught that thing?
No, I caught it.
What'd you do?
It ran up on the dock. It ran up on the dock and tried to fly out through the screen, and I fucking caught it. So bring a real camera.
Man, it got me good. I was all scratched up. Was that Gabby sitting there?
Yeah.
They're putting the dogs away. We're just gonna drive it up top.
Man, there's so nothing in that fucking shop in this video.
All those shoes are still sitting there. They're just different ones.
You think he'll stay?
I think he'll stay.
So, can I back? Yeah, okay. Oh, it backs up. Cool. Okay, so see that?
That bag of mealworms.
It's a bag of mealworms. We bought this bag of mealworms because Dakota wanted the ducks to be friendly. They had a duck named Vanilla Vader. And what was the other duck? They had the first 2 ducks. Vanilla Vader was one of them, and there was another duck. So they wanted them to be friendly, so we got this bag of mealworms so that she could hand feed them, and that bag of mealworms never was opened. We actually had that bag of mealworms until about a year ago when I opened. It's like 8 years old, 7 years old bag of mealworms. I opened them up just to start feeding the quail.
You think he'll stay?
I think he'll stay. With all these other animals and food and everything?
I think
we should put it in a pen and kind of let it acclimate? Or just...
Keep it a thing for a day or something?
Why are you holding your phone?
It's probably recording.
Oh.
That might be what I recorded this stuff on.
Yeah,
it's pretty friendly.
Because I feel like...
I haven't had a phone that small in...
Yeah, a long time.
6 years. Like the phones, because they stopped, the batteries wouldn't come out of the phones.
Yeah.
So when your phone would stop holding charge, you had to get a new phone. So Nick, Dakota, said, hey, get this Zero Lemon battery pack, and I've used them ever since. And I drop them, and it always drops, this way down so it doesn't hit the screen, and it's ridiculously heavy. It'll actually eventually wear holes through your pants. Like you can probably see, well, these pockets have, these shorts have pockets over pockets, but...
You can see it in his pants. You can see where it fades the material.
Yeah, like the line.
Is that a really giant phone, or are you happy to see me with your giant square penis?
Once you let it go, it's going to be like,
right back to our...
I'm out of here. Shit.
I don't think so, man.
You know, it flies like a...
I would have been fine if something ate that or if it disappeared. We had to catch it. It was scratching the shit out of everything.
Motherfucker, too.
It can.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Oh, look at the... What am I looking at? Oh, that's the... We had a couple dudes, and they're like, yeah, I can build a lean-to. So they build this lean-to. Pigman, Cody, somebody else. And that's when it dawned on me. Like, you can't take, just because somebody's like, yeah, I can build this thing. They can't. Like, it kind of stayed there, and we put tarps over, and it did keep the rabbits dry. But man, it was always a mess. Like,
So yeah, you're talking about where the rabbits are. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna ask. It definitely looks a lot better now.
I think it looks better in this because everything's oriented in the same manner. All the tarps are in place.
They're all the
but
same
you've got,
color.
like, a permanent structure out there now.
The rabbit thing's completely
Yeah.
different. Tim built that in a manner that I wasn't even prepared for him to do. Right? We built that thing out of like 8x8s.
He built it so you could live in it.
Well, that's what I said. We built it right around. Everything's like Maunder minimum, grand solar minimum. So solar changes and the growing zone shifting. So we're starting to get more ice, and which does look to be the case, right?
Yeah, it's coming in 2024.
Weather's completely different, right? So I said, hey, let's build this out of bigger wood, and I want a much greater pitch than you would normally put on it, so that if we do get an ice load, it'll actually ice off, it'll fall off. So we did that, and then when we built the hay barn, it was built out of 4x4s, and it looks like fucking matchsticks compared to the other thing.
Yeah.
So like that's like they really like those two. It's a trip that I'm watching this right now and talking about Tim. I was thinking about Tim and Matt and them this morning. Dude showed up here in a school bus. He's like, hey, I'm here to work for you. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because he'd been commenting a couple times. He's like, I'm on the way out there to work for you. I'm like, yeah, everybody fucking says that. But he shows up in an army green school bus, super cool. He's like, do you mind if I bring my kid to work? I'm like, yeah, as long as you watch him. And he shows up. I think Matt was 12 at the time. Holy shit, that kid outperformed fucking any full-grown man you've ever worked next to. Yep. And then Tim was that times 10. Down for whatever, any kind of weather, fucking outside. Hey, it's thundering and lightning. Hey, there's a tornado out here. You want to come inside? Those guys, man, they fucking worked. Yeah. And then we had them inside doing inside work, and they ran through so much inside work. Like, I'm like, hey, you got like a month worth of shit cut right now. Like they would come in at night and work for another 4 hours. Like that's what they did, man, was work.
That's cool.
Yeah, I miss those guys. Wherever, if you hear this, I doubt they're listening to this, but I hope they're well, man. I know they bought some property here. Like he was in Montana. I think he was in Montana and ran, because we were talking about fence line. He's like, yeah, I can fence. I'm like, what have you put up? He's like, 1,200 miles of fence. And then they flew him. He had gone out to, because he'll just like, he's a vagabond, man. They're just going to drive around places. Yeah. He went to Texas to work for a while, and was doing fencing and outbuildings. And then like the dude over here at Birdsong wanted him to come back out and build a bunch of structures out there. Because this is a 2-man crew that literally you would hire a major construction company to come in, and these guys are going to build it better in a quarter of the time. Yep. And it's not going to cost what it costs with the other. Everybody. Like, yeah, they're just really good. So we need to, I'm at the point right now where, like, looking at this picture right here, you see all these blue tarps. Some of them are over hay bales, some of them are over dog kennels, some are over structures where we were keeping the rabbits and stuff. I need to take, because these tarps are all discombobulated, they're ripped and torn, and I haven't put new ones on. But I'm about to have a shitload of people here next weekend, and I've been like, hey, I need some structures built, and I've got 2 different dudes that I use to do this stuff, and neither one of them have done shit. And I've said it a couple of times, so I'm to the point now where, like, I guess I'm just gonna fucking do it myself. Like I can totally do it. Yeah. And it's frustrating when you have people do work, and you're gonna pay a dude to do this task, because they're not like, they want to charge you per hour, and you're like, well, what should that be? Like, what are we looking at? And I'm not going to be like, that's too expensive. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it as though I have 10 of these I need to do. So what does each one cost? So that I know how many we're going to actually do right away.
And you know that when you give somebody an hourly wage, it takes longer.
Yeah, I don't even care I don't need it broke down as hourly wage. Yeah. I need to know what each one of these roofs, because what we're going to do is we've got these 10 by 10 dog kennels, and the way. Am I hearing you breathe? We're going to build these 10 by 10 dog kennels. I'm going to put 4x4s in each corner. I'm going to take a 2x4 on the outside, screw it through, so that's going to keep those 4x4s upright. And I'm going to make the one on the back about 18 inches taller. And then I'm going to run a 2x6 across here, 2x6 across here, frame here, and then I'm just going to staple in, I say staple, but, decking screw, some 2x4s, because they're not, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to put 2x6s on the side, 2x4s in the middle. And I'm going to take steel roofing and screw it to those 2 inches. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. I want it to catch rain and put rain in one direction. That's all I want it to do. Right now I'm using tarps, but the tarps have gotten shittier and shittier. Like you used to buy this bag of 2 tarps at Costco or Sam's Club, and we get a year out of them. Dude, we're getting 3 months, if that. The grommets are ripping out. The grommets always used to hold. They used to have metal grommets. Everything, they're thinner. Everything about them, it's just, they don't last.
It's probably because they're coming from China.
They always were. They've just lowered down there.
I was like, China doesn't want you to be able to keep your blue tarps on.
Oh, maybe. I didn't even think about that. I didn't see where you were going there.
Wear out really fast.
So, in my eyes, to build the first one of these, it should take me under 3 hours, right? So, in theory, we should be able to kick out 4 of these, no problem, in a day.
What about, are you going to cement the posts in? Because then you got to deal, especially in Tennessee, you'll have to deal with rot.
Definitely not cementing the posts in.
So
Nope.
you're just going to...
None of this shit's cemented in now.
And it's fine?
Yeah.
Because when you put wood into dirt, it's going to rot away, and especially in Tennessee where everything's wet.
Yeah, but I'm not cementing anything. They're just going to sit. The post is going to be 4x4s in the corners.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the ground.
That's interesting.
Like, it'll wick, but I mean, I could take it and just fucking tar it. I could tar them if we need to.
Yeah, okay,
I could also just step it up a couple inches off the ground, or put a brick right there and set it on the brick.
That would work. Yeah.
Any of it. That's just there to hold this, and it's going to wedge in between the metal, the wiring. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna, the 2x4 is going to hold the 4x4 vertical, and the 4x4s are going to be vertical, and then they're going to be tied in with the 2x6s.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple but effective.
I 100% can do it. It's a lot of these, like our handyman guys are typically like, they'll hit me up every couple of weeks, like, hey, I need work. So I always just leave that stuff so that I have work for them. And when they come over, like, I'm like, or I'll hit them up and be like, hey, I've got a bunch of little projects. I always have light bulbs in here in the high bay in the garage that are burnt out. I've always got something that needs fixing somewhere. The cars always need fucking something done with them, you know? So there's always a day's worth of work.
Yeah.
So, but it's just to the point where I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just do it myself. I know, like, I just have to allocate 2 hours to go do it.
Yeah.
I didn't just have a prime example of that right now, but...
Dog is that?
I was going to ask you guys about that dog, because I've never seen it before either.
That's not Bear. Is that Baxter?
No, it was way before Baxter. It was one of the dogs that we got from the flea market that...
The sister's brother, and the one got run over. So this dog, what happened to these dogs? I don't know. Because one got hit by a semi-truck out on the highway out there. I don't know what dog that is. It's ingrained so much in my brain that it's impressed still in me. I have no fucking clue what animal that is. The Pyrenees are probably here somewhere.
Yeah, you see one of them, and they look smaller and younger, so
yeah.
I'm sure it's the same ones.
So that right there, I had 2 trees. I don't remember what they were. We planted these 2 trees.
The square of mesh.
The cattails and shit growing there. So it never got mowed there. So for like 2 years, that jungle was right there. And that's why we went to plant trees all inside the fence line. And when we drilled them, it's just clay, so it holds water. So Nick Ferguson's like, hey, just forget all that. Just take a couple scoops of wood mulch, put them there. Take your tree, plant it. The roots will chase down and root for real. And then you'll be fine, which we did, which was fine for about 6 months. And then the chickens realized there's all kinds of life in the wood chips, so they uprooted all the trees. So now I'm to the point where I need to put the fencing back around, and I know I don't want to. As soon as I put that fencing there, all those weeds are going to grow up and choke the trees out too. Like one solution causes 3 more problems.
Female hen. Okay, I'm gonna drive up.
That's a jump right there. Oh, that's before we even had, like, there was a little jump there where that clump of pine trees is, where the pond is now. There was a jump there, but then when we brought the bulldozer in, we made it a huge, like, there was a ridiculously big jump there.
And that yellow tub is still sitting right there.
Yeah, it's full. We picked up all the rocks. Like we would have all the rocks gone, and then you'd have a storm, and these rocks would just come up out of the ground. So we were throwing them away originally, and I'm like, well, we actually pay a lot of money to bring in fill and stuff. Let's hold on to those. So we put them in there, and it fills up with rain. And the dogs, out of all the water sources they have, that's their favorite water source. There must be a mineral or something leaching out.
It must be minerals.
Something in there they like, yeah.
I'm going to reach in and talk to her. I'm going to shake her up a little bit and throw her in the air.
Josh right there.
Yeah.
So that's wood chips down right there. Like you put the wood chips down, nothing's going to grow there for 6 months to a year. And at this time right here, we had not covered the whole area in wood chips. We'd only done the top part there. Is that a goat in that pen there, or is that a dog?
I don't remember.
That's a dog.
Yeah.
And that IBC tote's still there. Yeah, it's the layout is still pretty much the same as this. We put those rail ties right there because this is all downhill. So when it would rain a lot, the dog kennels would flood up, and then it's just always muddy and stuff. So we put those there, and that kind of diverts the water. It works pretty well, and we still have 2 kennels there. What dog is that one? That's that dog. I wonder what dog that was. There's a goat. That's that pretty black-eyed, that blue-eyed goat. That black goat right there was born here. That wheelbarrow sitting on its side right there, I saw it this morning. It's sitting on its side right by the fence. I have 2 of them. One's full of water, and one's laying there on its side. The sun destroys everything. Like, you can get all this stuff and plan for the end of the world, and you take your wheelbarrow out once and use it and leave it outside for a year or 2. When you go to use it, it is disintegrated. It's gone. It'll look fine laying there, but when you truly need that thing, like the
wheels are going to come off.
Yeah, like you broke your leg and your kid's got to move you in the wheelbarrow, it's not going to work. Butters lost a ton of weight. He lost like 60 pounds when he was here. Because we starved his ass to death. Not really. He just did a little bit of cardio every day with me, and then he just ate what we were eating.
That's the key. He ate what we were eating. That's the important part.
Oh yeah, fully covered in shit. What you been eating? It stinks.
I didn't say a whole bucket, but...
Why the fuck would you do that? Get the fuck out of here.
Scully told me to put food
Fucking
down.
asshole.
Always. Always. And looking at it right now, he probably didn't even... He's like, why are they yelling at me?
Yeah, he says that Scully told him to do it, but clearly don't, dump it on the bird.
And that's what Scully just said. He said, I didn't tell you to get a whole pitcher. It was just, we needed a little bit of feed.
Why is it all...
What was I going to say?
Why is it always you?
Why was it always you?
Why is it always you? You know I'm about to slap the shit out of you. Walk past me.
Scully told me to put food down as soon as she landed.
Not on her.
Not on her.
He was probably excited. Look at the excavator up there. I wonder what we were doing.
Digging.
Yeah, that was a rental, I think, because it doesn't look like the stuff that you have now.
So that was a Kubota. We rented that and the skid steer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought
for
the skid steer was
48 months. When we went in there, like I'm like, man, these guys give us such good service always. Like
they still give us really.
We get
good
a
service.
track off on the weekend, and they'd come in. We're like, hey, one of my guys has your tractor sideways in a pond. And they were never mad. If they were, they didn't show it. Man, they really gave us the best service. People are always like, why don't you use these guys in town? I'm like, I'm telling you, these guys give us they're the best. And when we went in, I'm like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I want to buy a skid steer. He's like, yeah, I was wondering when that was coming. You know, we bought 2 more off the price, off you renting those. We paid those off and bought 2 more. And that, like, they've always been super cool with us. And their drivers are cool. They're repair guys. His name's Wood. Those guys are just the best, man.
And typically I can call in and say, hey, I need this piece of equipment. And within an hour, it's here. Keep in mind, it's 45 minutes from Paris.
Like they really do us good.
They just like immediately load it up on a trailer and
they're
bring
probably
it out.
like, yeah, those dumbasses over in Camden are calling. We're gonna be able to buy another building now.
The card keeps running. That's all that matters.
What's this round thing to the side here? It looks like a roll of wire or something. Those guineas are the ones that are gonna be an asshole to her. So we still have that goose, and we still have these 2 geese here. If you see it on the right of the screen and on the left in the middle, those geese, apparently goose live like 20 years.
That's what I was just gonna say. How long does the goose live?
Long time.
A long time.
That Brahma chicken right there is real pretty. We have some of those. We don't still have the same ones, but we have some. We don't ever kill anything. Like really at 3 years, you should be getting rid of your chickens. I've got chickens up there that are 5 years old. Like we get rid of chickens when we walk in and like, oh, I guess she died. And it's always old age. I mean, now we do. We give them, as they're getting older, we give them to the dogs.
Like you're using them for eggs.
Yeah.
Well, but my point is, like when you have a bird, your bird is born with so many ovums, right? Yeah. Some birds have more ovums than others. Those ovums become eggs. When you dispatch, if your chicken lays an egg today, and you dispatch her and then gut her out, you'll see an egg almost developed. You'll see another, and there's this row of underdeveloped eggs in progression of development. When your chicken gets to be 3.5 years old, you're not getting an egg every day. You're getting an egg every several days. And then as they get older, you'll get an egg every week, and then they'll just stop. So if you were feeding an animal and it is not producing for you, you have a pet.
Yeah.
And pets accumulate, and they get very expensive. That's why, and I don't follow this myself. I should. But if you did, like this year we bring in all Rhode Island Reds, and next year we bring in all Barred Rocks, and then the next year we bring in Purple Orpingtons or whatever, you can know what all your 3-year-old birds are.
That's what I was going to say about, so you have so many now, and they're basically free-range chickens. Like, they have a pen, but they're not really there. Mm-hmm. You don't know which ones are producing eggs and which ones aren't.
Yeah, and it's like the monkey project, right? So if you take your chickens and you keep them in a pen, and they all grow up together, they will always stay in that pen. Even though they can fly, they'll stay right where you put them.
Yep.
But if you have chickens that already know freedom, all those other chickens will follow all the other chickens. You have to get rid of all of them and start over again. It's just like Greg Judy says, when you have a sheep that jumps the wire, you put it back in once. When it jumps the wire the second time, you kill it right there, because it will teach all those other sheep will know how to get out from that one. Yeah. And that's the monkey project, right? They had all these monkeys in a room, and they were putting bananas at the top of the pole. And then a monkey would climb up there after the bananas, and they'd shock the shit out of the monkey. So over time, all the monkeys, every time one would climb the pole, it starts grabbing them, even though there was no banana up there. And the original monkeys had never been shocked. Like the original monkeys had been taken out of that cage, and now all the monkeys in there just did it out of habit. They don't know why they were doing it. They've never seen a banana up there. They've never seen one get shocked, but every time a monkey climbs the pole, they try to pull him back down. And it's just training. I had more hair there. Those guineas aren't sure what to think, but they run shit in here. And right there, up there where Jeff is, that pine tree, we've made this pin area bigger. And there's a pond. I don't think there's a pond here right now.
Yeah, it looks flat from the camera angle where Jeff is, if I remember correctly. I can't see it, but it's flat. Now, if you went and put the camera there, it would go up because there's a pond there.
Yeah, well, and a lot of that's just erosion.
Yeah.
The erosion is the water, because we took all the water off of the hill. We put a berm in there. There's like just almost about the height of a speed bump.
Yeah.
and it diverts all the water this way. And then we have another one that diverts water, and it comes through this area because we have a little pond that we've dug in there. And then the ducks will destroy anything. You could have a beautiful pond with all kinds of life, and if you let ducks get access to it, they will turn the pond over, and the pond will be dead. It'll have so much nutrients in the water, it'll kill everything in the water. And that's what they do to this little pond. Every 6 months or so, I bring whenever we have an excavator here, I scoop out and I'll dig it about 8 feet deep, as far as I can get into there from where I'm at without taking all the fencing down, and I'll dig that out, and then they'll have it fucked up again in 90 days.
Yeah.
They'll literally, it'll be filled up to where it doesn't hold water. It'll be full of duck shit. And these birds are going crazy here right now. These birds aren't in that pen. They come in at night and they roost up in these pine trees, but the guineas used to stay inside there. They weren't out running all over the place unless we opened the gate and let them out. Same with all these chickens, and that you see that big royal palm turkey right there. They never got out unless we let them out. We would let them out in the day. They'd come out at night, and if we didn't let them out on the weekend, they would stay in this pen. The birds in there now, they don't know that.
Yeah, those guineas are all over the place.
All over, and they even produced more guineas. Like we had 14, and then we were up to like 40, and now we're down to 7. They kind of ebb and flow.
Yeah.
They probably think that she's some sort of super guinea.
Super guinea.
Here they go. They're going to catch her.
Man, that's a horrible sound.
It is.
Well, it sounds like they're alerting. Like
they are. They're alerting on
because
me.
There's people there.
I really thought I was going to catch her last time. And I just put on peacock sounds.
We did. I had peacock sounds on my phone. There's always a dumb one. See all those guineas are on this side of the fence? See the one on the other? It literally, it flew over there to get there probably, or it walked around. The guineas are so fucking dumb. It'll just run back and forth for hours. You'll go out there half a day later, and that bird's still stuck on the other side of the fence because it won't walk through the fence.
Or jump back over it, like it did to begin with.
Yeah, like it forgot. That's a horrible noise.
But that chatter right there, those guineas, if you hear them screaming right now like that, you'll hear them all the way down here. You know something's going on up there. If you're not up there agitating them, like they don't do it when we're up there anymore. But if you hear that and you go out there, there's usually an aerial predator or there is something near the fence that shouldn't be, like a dog, coyote, fox. They alert, and then the dogs come running to that alert. These 3 dogs up here know when those guineas go off, they look up and they'll get up and go and see what's going on. And then if you hear that at night, there's always something going on at night because those things are up in the trees sleeping. Those tables, we had that table right there that looks green. That's because it's mold. It's algae growing on it. We had 30 or 40 of those at one time. They tried to do like an indoor flea market here. So we still have some of those tables. That table right there is still up there right now. I screwed wood on 3 sides, so it's kind of a lean-to. Nothing uses it. Like I used to just do it so they had shelter out there. Nothing uses that thing, but we do still have some of those tables.
What is that?
That's the peacock, but I'll bet you it's my phone. I'll bet it's not the peacock making that sound.
I don't remember if we.
Yep, it's the phone. There it is.
That's probably like, oh shit, here comes a tiger. She didn't seem interested in that sound.
I like them sideburns right there.
The geese on the other hand.
We've had several turkeys through the years. We've never killed one and ate it, but
they die.
Eventually I'll show up and I'm like, oh, the turkey's dead, and it's always after a storm. I swear to God, the turkey gets struck by lightning, or it looks up and drowns itself. It's always after a storm. If the turkey's dead, the ground is going to be soaking wet.
Yep.
Everything else is fine, but the turkey. And we had 2 turkeys up there, and you clap and they couldn't help it. If there was a gunshot, they'd gobble. Loud crashing sound, they'd gobble. They just can't help themselves.
Butters. Turn around, Butters. Turn around. Look at that back. That boy should be in the gym, shouldn't he?
Yeah. So that is all cattle panel right there. So it's just T-posts and then cattle panels, and it's all zip tied together. And then to keep the birds, because like if you use cattle panel, it's bigger wire, which costs less. It's also a little lighter because there's less wire to it. Then you have combo panels, and then you've got some other paneling. But to keep the animals in, because we had baby chickens in here a lot, we just had chicken wire on the outside zip tied to that. So it's temporary fencing, but I mean, that fencing right there has been there for 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
As temporary as it is.
Yeah, but it's still there.
Every day.
Yep. How many push-ups can you not do?
Oh.
You don't know? You're about to find out. Looks like he has Lego hair right there. Right now. How many push-ups can Butters do?
The next morning.
I'll bet you it's not Butters doing
No.
push-ups.
No.
I get here this morning, and a peacock is up on the front porch here, shitting all right now. See those coffins?
I haven't seen. Are they in the video?
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
Somebody had them at a garage sale for sale as Halloween decorations, and we bought all of them. I think I've got 5 or 6 of them. They're in the shipping container. They sat there for a while. We had them there for a Halloween party, and then they sat there for years, man.
They're prepared.
Well, yeah, I have a few.
People are like, why do you got the coffin? I'm like, when things get bad, bro.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna have to bury somebody.
She's out patrolling. Right out there. I don't know if you guys can see her. That was Suburban. Last night about 8 o'clock, I hear a huge commotion out here. Dogs are going nuts. The guineas are so loud I can hear them inside. So I come out, and the dogs are all looking up in the pine tree up here. They're all looking up in the pine trees right there. And that peacock's up there. So when we got in, she was right here and then walked over here. And now she's sitting right here.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Is that me doing that?
Yes.
I thought it was you. Peacock, peacock, peacock. I don't know what peacock sounds like.
Sounds like here, kitty, kitty.
See it sees itself, it'll pick at it, it'll poke at itself. It's not gonna do it here, I guess. Cool. Yeah, layout of the property is the same. Property's changed a lot. We've added a lot. We've just evolved. It's more permanent for sure.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, don't buy peacocks. You're not gonna like it. Seems good. It's like having a monkey. It's cool till it bites your finger off and throws shit on you.
Hard pass.
It's like having other people's children.
Well, that's easy. You just give them back when you're done.
All right,
Also
guys.
hard
That was fun. Cool to see. If you like these reaction videos, leave some comments, have some conversation. I go through. If you're not aware, we do a live video every night at 9 o'clock. You can jump on there. We talk about whatever you want. We walk around the shop and just show gear. So if you're here for the gear, there's gear. If you're here for anything else, that's there too. And you can ask anything, literally. We can talk about whatever you guys want. If you're seeing this video, you're a member, so you know you're aware of all the other videos that we put out also. Content's a little bit different on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I post some on X also now, so if you're on X, follow us over there. All of the videos that we post on YouTube auto dump to Rumble, so make sure you follow us there, because sooner or later most of us are going to be banned here on YouTube probably. Why are you helping them out? Use it while you can.
Yeah.
Use it to build your base, build your audience, whatever, and then just have these conversations, like follow us on Rumble. So we'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend.
trying to tear